Welcome back, everyone. This is going to take me a couple of times to shoot some of this, but one of the questions that we had in a recent video was about the Cat S22's functionality for both Google Maps and things like Spotify. Now, I don't subscribe to Spotify, so we're going to be using Plexamp as a stand-in. Long and short of it, Plexamp is just the audio-only version of Plex for self-hosted streaming audio. Functionally, if it works well, so should anything like Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, any of your other music streaming services. Now, currently, the S62 is what's active on my account. So what we're going to do is I have enabled Wi-Fi tethering so that this has effectively mobile data. So it's connected to the S62 and come on, focus. There we go. And I have Bluetooth on. So when this is playing audio, it's going to be doing so via a Wi-Fi tether. But obviously I was able to go into Plexamp and change around. This is working fine. There's no real performance issues here. I can go and load the library and pick up songs. Obviously I don't want to hit a content match. Google Maps is included on the device, and we're just going to, we're going to type in course view. All right, so it's pulling up an address. Now, location services should work fine. They are enabled on the device. Although it can't connect to the towers, it can still use them for location. And oops, I hit a button. Got it. All right. So yeah, and that loaded in just normal, like any other device would. I'll get some footage. Thank you. I'll get some footage of it in my car. I'm going to use it to stream audio to my Bluetooth interface for my radio. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Alright, so we're going to start up with pairing it to Bluetooth. It looks like it picked up what I believe is my car.
Bluetooth connected.
No problem there. Maps looks good still. Yep, there's that. So we're just going to go ahead and open up. All right. I'll be back after I'm done driving because I don't want to hit a content match for the audio. So, a couple of songs in, it occurred to me that it's kind of pointless to talk about the GPS navigation if you can't see it doing anything
Road for half a mile.
in real time. So I am going to leave the audio question at, I didn't have any issues. Now I am going to obviously preface that by saying that Plexamp isn't Pandora or Spotify, but it's very similar.
Mile, turn left onto Fairway Drive.
Honestly, harder on the phones. So if I had no issues with Plexamp, I have no reason to think that you'd have issues with Spotify or Pandora or Tidal or any other streaming service. And the reason I say it's harder on the phones is that there's no restriction on me cramming a full FLAC file through a connection that couldn't handle it. So the navigation is
Continue on Fairway Drive for 1.5 miles.
clear and accurate, and my phone is not doing any justice to what that screen looks like at the moment. It's perfectly readable. So GPS navigation, not a problem. Music, now I just tested via Bluetooth as opposed to headphones using the USB-C headphone dongle, although I can't imagine that would be dramatically different. And I would estimate that anyone using this in a car audio style scenario or on a work site would be using Bluetooth. And it's not that there's an advantage for the audio quality standpoint, but there's an advantage in the cabling standpoint. Bluetooth earbuds aren't going to get caught in a saw and pulled in. There's no dangling cable. So that's just the nature of how I would estimate that this particular device would be used. Now, you can tell me I'm wrong in the comments, and I'm more than happy to take time to plug it into some proper headphones later, if that's something people are interested to see. But overall, it appears to be keeping real-time speed accurate enough to my car. My car has a analog speedometer, so if it says I'm doing 25 and I appear to be just barely on one side or the other of the mark on my dash that means 25, that's good enough. Keep in mind, it's actually at a disadvantage right now, is that it doesn't have full-blown cell service. It's tethered to another phone. So from the standpoint of location, although it can talk to the cell towers and use them to help assist where it is, it's not in constant contact with them like it would be if it was pulling in LTE directly. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, since it seems to have performed exactly as I expected. Right when I walked out of the building and opened the phone, you saw searching for GPS note on the screen. I had accidentally, when Maps asked for location permissions, selected only when the app is active. So because I did not have Maps open, when I closed the phone and walked to the car, it had to reinitialize and reacquire a GPS lock. I fixed that as soon as I realized what I had done. So apparently I hit the 5-minute timeout, and I don't really know where in my wrap-up
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Courseview Drive.
Stopped recording. But what I am going to say is that my only significant issue with the S22 Flip from a navigation standpoint was entering the address on the tiny touchscreen. Now, that is a personal problem that may or may not impact you. T9 input is available, and depending on how comfortable you are with that, you may very easily be able to use T9 input. The touchscreen is functional and was what I used, but once again, if you're using this for navigation on a regular basis, if you're, say, an Uber driver, you could conceivably rig up a USB-C touchscreen to the device, and that's something that I'll test when I get a few minutes. I've got a USB-C touchscreen, and it wouldn't be particularly difficult to wire one up so that you were providing
Turn right onto Courseview Drive, then you will arrive at your destination.
supplementary power to the device alongside having now an expanded touch interface. The only question I have off the top of my head is if it provides HDMI over USB-C or not.
You've arrived.
And it is correct. I have arrived at my destination. So that is a win for the S22 Flip. Alright, with all that said, as always, I want to thank anyone who helps support Pocketables, either using our Amazon affiliate links or by supporting us on Patreon. It's support like that helps make videos like this possible. I would like to thank Alextrix for providing our opening and closing themes. And finally, thank you for watching.